Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Kay.
This is your boy Martin.
And we are going to do a video on what?
Custody of your niece.
Or custody of a kinship.
Yes.
Your kinship. So basically we have been going through a situation and we wanted to kind of share our experience of the things that we've been experiencing or some questions that we have seen that people ask when you're going through a situation like that, and we kind of wanted to like go over some of those things. So if you guys want to know more or is curious about kinship placement or kinship adoption, please stay tuned. So we do have a list of questions that we've been asked and that, you know, we've asked ourselves when it came to asking the agency or asking their parents, or, you know, something like that. So basically we've been going through something where we're trying to get kinship placement of my niece, which is our niece, and so it has been a bittersweet, how can I say it, Martin? It's been like a bittersweet situation, because I would love to have my niece. I wish I could got her like the same day I was notified. But it's a process, unfortunately, even for kinship, you know?
So I do have some questions for you about that.
Okay, so yeah, it is a process. It's been a lengthy process, but I feel like I can get through it, and we're going to get through it. We've already been through the biggest step.
Yes.
And so we're just ready to talk about it, guys. And here we go.
So can Anne apply for parental respiration?
Parental what?
Respiration?
What?
Can Anne apply for the rest on the bottom?
What?
Can Anne apply for
responsibility?
Yeah.
We can't be their parent. We can be their you can be their parent over time, but it's more so like a placement. Like once they get placed with you, then if the parents' rights are terminated, then you can adopt. But until then, the child is not up for adoption until parents' rights are fully terminated. There's no way they're gonna let you adopt the child because the parents still have rights. And in our case, my sister-in-law and my brother has rights to my niece still, which is amazing because I don't want to take anything from anybody. But I was asked to come forward and get placement of her. So yeah.
There's another one.
Another one is, can my niece choose to live with me? I think if she was old enough, she can probably say, hey, I don't want to say, because I don't know everything, guys. I'm literally still learning. What do you know?
I think, as far as I did my research on, the niece can live with you if they see, like, let's say both parents are being bad.
Can she say that she want to live with you? She just be able to go with you?
No, she only can go with you unless she's old enough to say, I want to be with my aunt.
Yeah, and then that's still a process. It's not like she can just say, oh, I want to go with my aunt or my uncle or my brother or my sister, whoever, kinship, and it just goes like that, especially if she's already in foster care. No. Now, if she's still with parents and parents are being neglectful, the parents can sign things to have you be guardianship over the child. You know, so it can go like that.
How do I impress the judge for custody?
Why are you asking me?
I know that one. How you impress it? It actually goes by the CPS. How you make a good impression? You have to have a good home. Everything has to be stable there. Everything has to be like on point. Like everything has to be like basically they have to see there's no hasslers, there's no fire, there's nothing, that child's never going to be in danger. That's how you make a good impression. And they take that to the judge.
Not only that, impressing the judge, showing up, you being a person to show up to court dates, you being a person to, call and ask about this child and inquire about how can I do this or what can I do to help this child or whatever. That definitely goes on record, and the judge does notice. But here's the thing. Sometimes for some people it's a little bit too late. If you're late in the process with doing that situation, when the parental rights are already terminated, it's kind of like a back up against the wall with kinship, especially if foster parents have already been with the child or the baby for a long period of time and they are trying to adopt. Then it becomes like, a very tight situation. Not saying that you can't win, but if the child has already been placed in a stable home and they've been there over the 15 months or however many months each state requires, then they are not willing so much to move the child, even if it's kinship, because you have came forward way too late in the process.
Here's another one. What does a judge look for in a child custody case?
I feel like you answered it earlier. Stability, consistency with you being involved in the case, far as making a point of making it to those court dates, communicating with the caseworkers, even for us, interstate compact, we have been communicating with them a lot. So we've called the governors of each state.
Yes. So what I know is like I mentioned before, the judge has to see, for one, is first of all, is if it's gonna be a safe home. What can you do for the child? If you can take care of the child. Also, they look for is if your home is safe. That's another one.
You said that.
Yeah. It's a lot of variety things, just like you mentioned too, like you showing up. Also, you want to show that you're willing to take care of the child, like for everything. You're willing to protect her, him or her,
even against their own parents.
Yep.
If they say, hey, we can't have communication with the parents, it's either you want to appease the parents or you're there to protect that child. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. I know this is your kinship and you have relationships with these people, but these people know or should know that if you go against what the judge is saying, that puts the child at point A once again, and they will never trust your word or that person to take care of a child. So I personally cannot put myself in that situation, and I won't put myself in that situation simply because if I'm an advocate for the child, that's just what it is. I'm not gonna, even if it's my sibling, my cousin, my aunt, whatever, and I'm taking their child, there's nothing that'll make me go against the judge for that.
Also, another thing is, they have to see you showing responsibility, like when the child gets sick.
How are you able to show that and you ain't got the child yet?
Because a lot of times is they want to see the effort, like showing like you want to be there for the child. You want to be you're willing to take care of the child, like even on the sickness, whatever have. If they have a disability, they have a
what?
They're not fully capable. Like what's it called? The child's like they have what's it called? Like you're not slow.
A disability?
Yeah, they have a disability. You're willing to do anything for the child, basically, and that's what the judge wanna see, that you're gonna be the one person, and you're gonna be the stable one.
Another one that I've seen is, and that we wrote down, is how can you win custody? Honestly, you can get a lawyer or anything. It's really based on solely who you are as a person. When they come and do your home study, does this look like a stable, clean, fresh air? Is there somewhere for the baby to sleep? Stuff like that. Because you can get a lawyer, and let's say they come to your house and there's no space for the baby.
I'm calling a lawyer right now.
Or, you know, there's no, there's not adequate enough, like closet spacing, or safety is not on point. Like, you don't have the plugs, you have wiring, you have pets that are unvaccinated, you have wild pets that are, you know, probably shouldn't be around kids. I mean, a lot of things go into winning custody. You do get first dibs as the family member, but you also have to think about, are you in a position to be that family member? Is your background clean? Have you ever been through any child abuse and neglect situations? Because if any of those come up, you can have all the lawyers in the world, and you just will not get the child, simply because your background came back dirty with you had an abuse situation at a daycare or whatever. I'm just saying. So winning custody, it could be such a smooth situation, or it can be a complicated situation. Everybody's case is different. So that's why I will consult with the CPS workers in your state, or a lawyer that's in your state that knows this front and back. You can even do legal aid lawyers. They will have a conversation with you. But as far as winning custody, it's really about you, and what you can bring to the table for that child. So you have something else to add to that?
So basically, what you're telling me, I need to have a better representation than the next person fighting?
Yeah, better representation than the next, because you never know if the foster parents are fighting. They've already had this child, for example, and the foster parents are like, yeah, we want to keep this child. So you know you got a little fight on your hands at that point. But if you are coming into the picture and the foster parents are like, I don't mind this child going with a kinship, and even though they've had the child, they only do fostering pretty much, yeah, then it's a bit much easier. But you got to make sure all your ducks are lined up in a row as well.
Let me see.
And so we did have another question, and it's basically, what are some things that can get a child removed from the home and sent into foster care, or which their other first protocol, which is to find a kinship or a relative to take the child. One of the things that I know that gets a child removed is abuse. Mm-hmm. It can be any type of abuse. It can be sexual abuse. It can be physical abuse. It can be anything. Like, even if the child is being mentally abused and the teacher notices that at school, you know, that will get CPS involved. You know, it can be.
Should be snitching too much then.
It can be what?
No, I'm just playing.
No.
One thing I noticed too, if both parents are fighting each other, because the child can take it back to the principal, or take it back to school.
Another thing that I've noticed and I've seen or heard happens is neglect, like not feeding a child, not making sure they have a stable home, not being a protector as a parent. Like, you know that the child is in a dangerous situation and you still choose to stay in that environment with your child. Like, that will get your child in CPS vision to be monitored and looked at, and then if it keeps going too far, then the child is eventually removed from home. Physical abuse between either parent, it could be the mom abusing the dad, the dad abusing the mom physically, that definitely gets children removed from your home, if it's too many calls, or if the child was in the midst of the abuse. You have anything else?
What else?
And so basically, neglect, abuse, just anything in the line of those things, and that can go so deep. Those are the things that can get a child removed from the home. It's probably more, but I don't know them off the top of my head.
Me neither. I lost them.
And so I hope you guys have learned something from this video. Even if you're a parent and you're seeing yourself in a situation like that, Please, before it gets to a CPS situation, remove yourself, or do the right thing and remove your child. If you still want to stay in an abusive situation or a neglectful situation, please be an adult and say, hey, I can do this, but I don't want my child to do it, so hey, can you take care of my child? Please tell the relative in advance. Make an agreement in advance. Do not tell someone at the last minute, because it puts a lot of pressure and strain on that person. It really does. So, guys, and for the people who's trying to get kinship custody, you can ask me questions down below. I'll answer what I know, and if I don't know, I'll get back to you after I do my research and talk to my CPS worker or whatever. Because right now I'm going through an ICPC process, which is the Interstate Compact process, and our file is currently being reviewed. So we're actually in the situation, so we're learning as we're going as well. But you have anything else?
No, you actually covered everything.
So yeah, guys, so that's what happens with kinship care, or kinship custody, and so far that is what has happened to us. I hope you guys have learned something from this video and has enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions, please feel free to comment down below or email us if you want to be a little bit more private. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.